Why does every team secretly fear France's national football team, even when they're not in top form? What is the hidden secret that makes France's national football team dangerous in every World Cup? Is it just Kylian Mbappé, or is there something much bigger behind it? Why is Didier Deschamps called lucky, or is it actually genius? How does one country keep producing world-class players every single generation? Is INF Clairefontaine the most powerful football factory in the world? Why is underestimating France in the FIFA World Cup the biggest mistake any team can make? Can France reach another final in 2026? Can any country in the world replicate France's system? Is France's second team stronger than most nations' first team? Every 4 years, when the world holds its breath for football's greatest stage, there is one question that coaches, analysts, and fans quietly ask themselves before they even study the bracket. Is France in our group? Not Brazil, not Germany, not Argentina, France. Because no matter the era, no matter the generation, no matter how unconvincing they looked in the group stage, France has a habit of being standing tall when the dust settles. 2 World Cup trophies, 2 consecutive World Cup finals, semi-finals appearances that feel almost routine. This isn't coincidence. This isn't luck. This is a system, a machine, built over decades, and right now, heading into the 2026 World Cup, it may be more dangerous than it has ever been. Today, we answer the question the football world keeps asking: why is France always a dangerous team? France's nickname is Les Bleus, the Blues, but opponents don't fear their color. They fear their depth, their talent pipeline, their ability to look slow, and then explode. France is ranked number 2 in the world by FIFA as of 2024. They hold 1 FIFA World Cup, 2 UEFA European Football Championships, and 2 FIFA Confederations Cups. But trophies alone don't explain the phenomenon. To understand why France is always dangerous, you need to understand what they've built. At the grassroots level, at the academy level, and at the national team level, it is a 3-layered machine, and it runs without interruption. We are weeks away from the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the biggest edition in history, featuring 48 nations across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and France enters as one of the tournament's clearest favorites. France are priced as clear favorites across all major betting markets, implying roughly a 70% chance to win their group, a number that reflects not just squad depth, but 2 consecutive World Cup final appearances in the last 2 tournaments. The estimated total value of the attacking players France is expected to bring to the tournament is approaching $1 billion, from 2-time World Cup final scorer Kylian Mbappé to explosive rising star Désiré Doué. Think about that for a moment. $1 billion worth of attacking talent, on a single squad, at a single tournament. But the story isn't just about money, it's about structure. Let's start with history, because you cannot understand France without it. France played in the very first FIFA World Cup in 1930. At the 1958 World Cup, striker Just Fontaine scored 13 goals in a single tournament, a record that still stands today, nearly 70 years later. But the modern era is what matters most. France won their first World Cup in 1998 on home soil. In 2018, under Didier Deschamps, Kylian Mbappé's emergence signaled a new chapter, and France lifted the trophy again, defeating Croatia in the final. In 2022, they came within a penalty shootout of back-to-back titles. Mbappé became only the second player in history to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final, after Geoff Hurst of England in 1966. That is the standard they operate at: hat-tricks in World Cup finals, while losing. So what is the engine behind this sustained excellence? 3 words: depth, development, and diversity. First, depth. France arrive at the 2026 World Cup with one of the deepest squads in world football. At the back, William Saliba, Jules Koundé, Ibrahima Konate, and Dayot Upamecano lead a formidable defensive line. In midfield, Eduardo Camavinga and Aurélien Tchouameni form a reliable double pivot, while young talents like Warren Zaïre-Emery bring flair and unpredictability. Didier Deschamps has built a system where a key player's injury is not a national tragedy. If William Saliba feels discomfort, players worth €80 million are waiting on the bench. That is not normal. That is industrial-level talent production. Second, development. France has invested heavily in football academies and elite youth development programs that have consistently produced high-quality talent. Studies show a significant relationship between experience in youth national teams at the U17 and U20 level and eventual senior World Cup participation. The INF Clairefontaine Academy, established in 1988, has produced Thierry Henry, Nicolas Anelka, and a generation of world-class professionals. It is not a school, it is a laboratory. France manufactures footballers on a conveyor belt the rest of the world can only envy. Third, diversity. This is perhaps the most important factor, and the most overlooked. France's multicultural identity, shaped by its African and Caribbean diaspora, has given it access to an extraordinary pool of athletic talent. The 1990s Black Blanc Beur generation symbolized France's multicultural identity. Zinedine Zidane, Thierry Henry, and Patrick Vieira powered the team to the 1998 World Cup victory. That cultural pipeline didn't close, it widened. Mbappé, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Upamecano. The names change, but the system keeps delivering. This matters beyond football. France's model is a masterclass in what happens when a nation invests in youth, embraces diversity, and builds systems over personalities. Although Deschamps' tactics are regularly criticized as cautious, Les Bleus boast the most potent attack and the best defense in European qualification for 2026. Critics call it anti-football. Opponents call it a nightmare. For Deschamps, the challenge is not who to choose, but who to leave out. That is the definition of a team problem other nations dream of having. And with the 2026 World Cup expanding to 48 teams across a physically exhausting multi-country format, France's ability to maintain a frantic pace throughout the tournament while opponents wear out from endless travel is a structural advantage no other team can easily replicate. So, why is France always a dangerous team? Because they never truly rebuild, they reload. Because when one golden generation fades, another is already waiting in the wings, sharper, faster, hungrier. Because while the rest of the world produces football players, France produces football systems. Mbappé will one day retire, Deschamps will leave after 2026. But the machine, the academies, the culture, the pipeline, will keep running. The names on the jerseys will change, the danger will not. Les Bleus, always watching, always waiting, always dangerous. This has been Day 14, I'll see you tomorrow.